If you have ever been trying to get your partner to understand your perspective, but it feels like maybe they just think that you're being really difficult, or that you're wrong to feel what you feel, or that you're somehow just flat out crazy in their mind, this is going to change the way that you and your partner get through some hard conversations and places of disagreement. Because the reality is, every couple is going to disagree sometimes, but I've really learned from my clients that this one thing can completely change how that conversation goes with your partner. I want you to stop justifying, over-explaining, and essentially trying to prove to your partner why you feel what you feel. Let me explain a little bit about what I mean. Often what happens is that when we get into these moments of disagreement, or when something's happened that's upsetting us in our relationship, we really want our partner to understand why we feel what we feel. We really want them to understand our perspective on this. And so we get into this position of really giving them a lot of information and what we think is very valuable insight into our side of that equation. But what often happens? Oftentimes, our partners respond by basically telling us, you shouldn't really feel that way. And here's why you shouldn't really feel this way. Or here's just this rapid fire solution that might make all of that better for you. And then what happens? We get more upset, we get more frustrated, and we start giving more examples and more pieces of evidence for why we feel what we feel. And now we are in this tug of war, where often our partners are shut down or even leaving the room, and we are completely upset, completely frustrated, and now this problem that could have been quite small and easy to resolve now feels like this huge rift in our relationship with the guy that we love or the person that we're crazy about. So here's what I want you to do instead. And you can think about even just the last time that you had a conflict or a fight with your partner. How much effort and energy did you spend trying to convince your partner why you feel what you feel? Trying to really get them to fully understand your perspective? Probably quite a lot. And yet what happens is we often are really overwhelming our partner. And here's why. This was a game changer for me when I realized this, because I kept seeing this at session after session after session when I would work with the couples in my private practice. He's doing that thing where he's saying, here's why you shouldn't feel this way, or here's why that's not a problem, or here's why we should just move on. Because often your partner doesn't know what else to do for you. And so they tend to think that by kind of getting rid of that problem or telling you why you shouldn't feel that way, that somehow you're going to step back and say, I've had this change in perspective now. I never saw it that way, but you're right. I shouldn't feel this way. And then they don't have to fight with you anymore for the rest of the day, or this hard situation kind of just resolves itself. But we know that that doesn't work because that's not what we're looking for. So the question becomes, what are you looking for instead? What is the response that you actually want here? And I think what happens and trips us up, I think especially as women, at the risk of being a bit stereotypical here, we really want a collaborative solution. We really want something that feels really comfortable for both of us. And we really want to know and have this reassurance that it is safe in our relationships for us to disagree, for us to have needs. Because I think most of us tend to be much better at taking care of other people's priorities, at really giving, than we are receiving. So these moments in our relationship where we have to say, hey, this is not working for me, or here's what I need to be different, or here's what I'm not okay with, I think is often a bit anxiety provoking and stressful for most of us. Because of course, we just want harmony. We just want to be able to feel close and connected to our partners. And these moments of rift essentially put us into these two different places than where we want to be. So we tend to seek out a lot of reassurance, a lot of empathy, and a lot of validation that it makes sense, that we know that our partner understands why we feel the way we feel. So here's what I want you to do instead. Step back, do a little bit of your own work to get clear on what is the solution that you want. Take that big weight off of your partner's shoulders from expecting them to be able to really forecast that with you or really do that problem-solving conversation with you. Step back, get out your notebook. What is the solution or thing that you need to see happen to repair this or make this better for you? What is it that you're asking for? And then take some of that energy away from trying to justify, prove, and seek understanding to simply making a direct request of what it is that you want your partner to do. And I think so often when we really step back and look at it, that piece is really missing. Or, even more likely, it's not that we're not saying it, it's that it's getting lost in so much other conversation, so many other words, that even though you might be saying that to your partner, it's kind of just rolling off them like Teflon because it's mixed up with so many other statements and sentences that they've kind of just shut down because they're a bit overwhelmed. So this is why you want to break this pattern. This is why you want to reduce the amount of over-explaining and really move into what is the action that you're looking for. And I've created some scripts for you because I know that this is not something that comes really naturally to most of us. This is something that essentially we have to kind of practice. And so I wrote some scripts down here for you to get a really clear picture of how you can walk your partner through this to get a little bit more of that empathy that you're looking for, because often they don't have a clue how to give that to you. That's just the reality of it. If they knew that that's what you were wanting and how to do it, they'd already be doing that. So I've got some scripts in here that you can talk to your partner even about that. Here's how I'd like you to respond to me. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I would love it if you could just say this to me. This would make things so much easier. That's in there, and I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about how to be more direct and clear about what it is that you need to. So I hope you found that really helpful. You just need to sign up for it there, and that will be sent right into your inbox. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care.